Greetings, class. My name is Quaylin Smith, and this is our final project. Now, for week 8, we were asked to do a persuasive speech. We were asked to do something that is current in today's society. A topic that I want to speak on is police brutality on unarmed African Americans. Now, some of you may ask, why is this topic important? And why is it important to me? It's very prevalent and it's reoccurring in today's society. More so, we just had a recent incident here in Columbus, Mississippi, where a young black man who was unarmed was gunned down and killed without any just cause. The police officers, 3 of them were suspended. 1 was actually fired. Now, they falsified documentation on 4 different occasions where the stories changed. They did not do protocol in the least way. So, issues like this need to be heard. They need to be acknowledged. And we as the people need to do something, not just for the victims, but for the officers as well. Because in a situation like this, no one walks away happy. Every life is affected that is involved. So I want to basically bring out some information to educate everyone about some things that I have researched about this topic. Now, CNN reports that basically people of today are more likely to be killed if they are black or African American descent, partially because of the demographic and where they come from. Now, the BBC states that we as people have implicit biases. So if we have those biases, of course, police officers do. Police officers are trained to fear their lives. They are trained not only to protect, but serve. However, racial profiling is very evident in today's society. And so, with that being said, we tend to look at someone's demographic, or where they come from, or their race, and base everything off of that. Not everyone who is black is a drug dealer or someone who is going to commit some sort of crime. But because of those racial profiling skills, we tend to act on that. Now, like I stated, BBC.com reports that police officers, along with other ethnicities, have implicit biases, which allow them the opportunity to prejudge before even knowing the situation. Like I stated, not everyone who is out here has a gun or any type of weapon on them. However, because of what we perceive a person as, we tend to act on that. Now, I went through a racially profiling situation years ago when I was working my first job, and I was getting off work really, really late and was in a very nice car. I literally just pulled out of the restaurant Wendy's where I was working, and a police officer pulled me over because he stated that I was in a nice car, and where was I coming from at this time of night? Fearful for my life, not knowing what was going on. That was my first time ever being racially profiled. This particular incident that just happened here in Columbus brings back all types of emotion for that. Because I was in a very nice vehicle with rims on it and things like that, I was racially profiled. He called back up. He tried to search my vehicle, asked me where I was coming from. I told him I was just leaving work. I still had my uniform on. I had my time clock out sheet and everything, showed him all of that. But he still wanted a reason to try to basically arrest me or search my vehicle. He called for backup. And it was very horrible. I had my mother on phone so she could hear the whole conversation. I actually had to go through an incident where I had to file a report and get those officers suspended as well because I was racially profiled for no just cause. I was up to date with insurance. I was up to date with my driver's license, everything like that. Everything matched up. So he still wanted to call back up. They wanted to search my vehicle. I would not let them. So racial profiling is very common in today's society. So we as people need to ensure that we do what we can to limit this. And what I mean by that is anything that you can do not to make yourself a target, do that. Because we are in a society where everyone is living in chaos and everyone is fearful. So on both spectrums, you have to understand that their job is to protect and serve. Now, The mintpress.com stated that police are doing at least 3 killings a day. Now, this statistics was developed from a database and a research that theguardian.com did. And this particular database is called The Counted, where they went in and observed and pulled information from different websites, local stations, news reporters, and CNN and other websites to go out and get information. Now, they realized that with this, we are more likely to be racially profiled. We are more likely to be killed because of any situation, whether we're unarmed or not. Now, these police officers go through at least 60 hours of training. And when I mean training, I mean deadly force training. They are required to do that. However, they don't always act on the training that they use. Some need to basically be retrained. I think this is something that we need to, as citizens, not only African Americans, but as citizens at all, because it can affect everyone. Not only African Americans are getting killed, so this is why I state that. This can affect everyone. We need to basically go in and, go to our city hall, city council meetings, and things like that to ensure that these police officers are going through training adequately. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that they are up to speed on the type of training. And also doing that, city council officials need to hold forums for the cities to educate us as young black people, as just citizens of our areas, to know the protocols of what to do. If you are pulled over by a police officer, what do you need to do? What is the proper procedure? So many people do not know those proper procedures, and we put ourselves at risk. Now, the Guardian.com states that 30% of African Americans who were killed alone in 2015 were unarmed, and that we are twice as likely to be unarmed versus any other nationality. Interesting, huh? Very much so. Now, what we need to do, again, is go out here and educate everyone on what to do and what not to do. Because, again, their job is to protect and serve, whether they are doing that or not. Now, the BBC stated that not everyone is doing that. Police officers are required to protect and serve, but more so they're endangering us and taking our livelihood away. Now, this is the issue, and if it was someone that was close to you, you want to do what you could do. Educate your families, educate your friends, educate the city. Go out, be a voice, but in the right way. It's okay to protest, but do that in the magnitude that we understand that black lives matter, but more so our lives matter. Don't go out with the mindset of bringing up uproar and trying to fight and, create any type of uneasy situations for anybody, because that's when tension comes, that's when riots come, that's when all those factors take into place. So, be a voice, educate your cities, educate your areas. Basically go out and ensure that not only the police officers are educated on the proper protocols, but we as people are as well, because it could very well be us anytime. And how many people have witnessed a hate crime, or how many people have witnessed police brutality just because of racism? It's a very surreal situation. No one wants to witness it, but we need to do what we can to ensure that we can lessen those hate crimes, and we can lessen the racism, and we can lessen the police brutality amongst all. Be a voice, again, people. Like I said, we just recently lost a young individual here in Columbus who did nothing wrong. He was fearful of police because everything that has been going over the last couple of years with all of the unarmed African Americans who have been killed by police officers. And in those situations, when someone is killed, we need to stand up and make sure that justice is served and justice is sought. Because if we don't do anything, we're not a voice, then that gives the opportunity for something else to occur later on down the line. This is my speech. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Like I stated, my sources come from CNN.com, BBC.com, News, MintPressNews.com, and TheGuardian.com. I hope you all enjoyed. I enjoyed this class very thoroughly. I enjoyed watching each one of your videos and learning and networking with all of you. I hope all of you enjoyed my video. Good day.